This video is going to focus on the progression of skill or evolution of learning a throwing technique. And in this particular case, we're going to look at the Ashi Barai, Okuri Ashi Barai, and taking it from the very basic levels to a far more advanced level that's very effective competitively. So the focus here is on you got to do this before you do that. And that's what we're going to focus on in this video. So I hope you enjoy it.
Foot sweeps, thigh sweeps, it's timing and movement and good rhythm. It's just like learning to dance. You've got to have good rhythm. To do judo, sambo, jiu-jitsu, you got to do it. So that's what this teaches. Thigh sweeps like this, Ashi Barai, leg sweeps, or foot sweeps, are really an important part of what we do because it teaches us timing, rhythm, movement, it's all essential. Very essential. Nailing his ankles together, like you're literally nailing them together. And a one-step version is such. You work this because you got to do this before you can do that. Okay? The Okuri Ashi Barai, send after a sliding foot sweep. He's a half step behind him. That's why we do these drills so much. Okay? And we'll start out with 2 steps then 1. So step, step, sweep. Just go ahead and do it. Such. He does it. He does a couple steps and then sweep. Okay. Let's look at what we're going to call. It's a variation of a Okuri Ashi Barai, sliding or send after foot sweep, but we're using the thigh. So I first picked this up years ago. I saw it in sambo. I saw it used quite a bit of sambo because the thigh was used so much, and it's really. It's not a foot sweep as much as it's a thigh sweep, okay? And the word momo, M-O-M-O, momo means thigh. So I always call it Okuri, send after, sliding, momo barai, thigh sweep, okay? And I'll have Derek here in a moment, but some key things, let's get a comparison. The sliding foot sweep, send after foot sweep, is basically, we'll start a couple steps because this is kind of a basic way. We'll step, step, sweep like that. Catch the feet. Okay. All right. The momo barai, the thigh sweep. I'm going to have to start a little further back and shave the angle here. So here, see how I'm starting this way in the Okuri Ashi Barai? Okay. I'm stepping a little closer here with the sweeping leg, the thigh sweeping leg here. Okay. Now it's also very helpful. Rather than just grabbing the sleeve, if I go ahead and grab it back here, this, and I basically, I use that analogy often where we loop the belt around the body. This is what we're doing here. Like I'm looping a belt or a rope around it, catching him here at the lapel, catching him here just at the floppy part of the gi behind the shoulder here, and just closing him in. And when I do my step, it's I'll be stepping, step, sweep, and I'm almost kicking him in the butt. That's what I'm doing. And I need to demo with somebody. Okay. Which side of this leg is it? So you're which leg is it? Let's turn around so we get this here to start. Now, when he starts, you shave that. See that? Okay. Now, when he steps, his initial step, when he steps, it's going to be an open step with that foot already. Because really, you're going to catch him in 1 step usually. But we're doing 2. That's what it looks like, okay? He did nice and slow so you can see it. But what he's doing, he's using the inside of his thigh here, to sweep right along just these buttocks and upper, hamstring area, the back of the leg area here. So when he does it, he does a couple steps and he'll sweep. And it looks like, it's kind of a bent knee to Okuri Ashi Barai. Well, you can call it that if you wanted to, that's fine. But it's really more precise if we call it a thigh sweep, because that's what you're using. And when he does this, he really catches, you're usually a little closer, so you're a little closer, more compact grip, shorter grips in here. All right? You notice how he's trapping. And when he does this, that hip is like a beeline right across here, and he's using the inside of his thigh, and he just sweeps it real hard like that. Okay, just do 2 steps that do this step. Bam. And you do it with nice and easy, real control. He doesn't want to kill the guy. I mean, you really splatter on this one. I keep doing this. See, it works better on a 1-step shot. It really does. It's just a hit and go. And a lot of people say it's Okuri Ashi Barai. That's fine. I mean, call it what you want. Let's call it a pawn. But in this case, it is more accurate to say it's a thigh sweep. So let's look at it one more time now. Differences, and just to get a standard grip kumikata here for you. Now, if he's just doing Okuri Ashi Barai, here it is. Here's the stance, right? Half step behind. But he can still grab this, but it's better. It's really effective. It gets you closer, gets Derek closer to Steve if he uses this grip up here and see how he rounded that corner, he shaved that corner, okay? His hip is in direct position to really sweep hard. That's what we want. And when he steps with his right foot, his lead foot here, he doesn't step sideways, he opens it, because eventually we're going to, he'll do one step in a second here, but when he does it, he opens that up, and that thigh really could lift him, really slam him, okay? So go ahead and step it here. If he's doing, if he did that plowing him, I mean, he'd land right on top of him, you know, it's a crash pad throw, you know, but, yeah. Well, okay, let's do a crash pad. Let's do it in a different direction. The same direction. There you go. All right. Can you do it along the side of it? Sideways too? Yeah. Watch when he comes along sideways. See that? That's bam, that's catching. It is, you can see how we can effectively practice this on a crash pad. Just going the length of the crash pad is really the most efficient way, and it gets you chest to chest. That's how you would actually throw them in a competition, or a real fight for that matter. You know, because you can do this in the street too. Use your crash pad, okay? Let's do it one more time on the pad. And watch how he steps, and he doesn't move. Bam. He sold it too, before he just landed so cool. Let's see how he turned belly belt. Now, that's good, okay? Now let's show you Okuri Ashi Barai. Get this out of the way. The new guys. So we want you to work this because you got to do this before you can do that, okay? Okuri Ashi Barai, sitting after a sliding foot sweep. He's a half step behind him. That's why we do these drills so much, okay? And we'll start out with 2 steps then 1. So step, step, sweep. Just go ahead and do it. Nailing his ankles together, like you're literally nailing them together. And a 1-step version is such. Like that. This is why judo, sambo, jiu-jitsu, all these things, this really is using kazushi. Kazushi is movement. Breaking an opponent's balance. Clearly, you can see how you do this. This stuff really works. And you think, God, how do you got to kick them hard? No, it's movement. It's all movement. Foot sweeps, thigh sweeps, it's timing and movement and good rhythm. It's just like learning to dance. You've got to have good rhythm to do judo, sambo, jiu-jitsu. You got to do it. So that's what this teaches. Thigh sweeps like this, Ashi Barai, leg sweeps or foot sweeps are really an important part of what we do because it teaches us timing, rhythm, you know, movement, you know, it's all essential. Very essential. We good? Okay, so do the Okuri Ashi Barai, the new guys especially. And guys who've been around a while, warm up with a couple of Okuri Ashi Barai, but then start switching to thigh sweep. Okay?